Hi guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Molly teaches youth camp valuable lesson with inspiring Steph's story. On the other side of the globe, Steph Curry found a unique way to inspire basketball's future generation. Recently in New York City, Warriors legend and Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Famer Chris Mullin lectured a youth basketball camp on the value of work ethic by revealing a fascinating tidbit on Curry's commitment to overturn his dreadful start at the 2024 Paris Olympics. The first 4 games of the Olympics was not typical, Steph Curry. Mullin told a group of camp attendees in a video shared by the program NYC on Instagram. He was 5 of 20 from 3, averaging about 7 points per game. The last 2 games he made 17 threes and scored 60 points. Curry's early struggles in Paris, like his 3-point performance against South Sudan, were notable. After starting his Olympic career with 4 lamentable showings, Curry managed to deliver legendary back performances that ultimately would lead Team USA to a gold medal. But it was what Curry did between the semi-final and final games that Mullin made sure to shine a light on in his lesson to the youngsters in attendance. The reason I'm saying this is because I had a friend of mine who was going to their practices. Mullin added, those last 2 games the shutarounds were optional, meaning you didn't have to go if you didn't want to go. A few people showed up, one being Steph Curry, during a time in which he couldn't find his rhythm. Curry, with only a few people watching, wagered on his unmatched work ethic to return to his old ways. It worked. My buddy texted me, I'm at shoot around and there are 3 people here who are shooting free throws. Steps down doing an hour 15-minute full-out workout. Mullin concluded that was prior to the Serbia game where he made 9 threes, and then he did the same thing in between the France game. A real admirer of Curry's craft, Mullin too is banking that the story behind the F's remarkable Olympics turnaround will spark a similar work in the game's youth for decades to come. Steph Curry's legendary performance closing out the 2024 Paris Olympics was so impressive that the Warrior superstar immediately was subjected to a drug test following Team USA's unforgettable 98-87 win over France earlier this month. During a seminar at Fanatics Fest, Durant and Edwards sat down for a conversation on the boardroom detailing their strange experience following the Americans' emphatic victory that saw the trio of NBA stars each get drug tested after the gold medal. Me and him, Durant, had a what you call it, a drug test. Edwards said we couldn't really celebrate in the locker room for real because me, him and Steph had to take like a drug test or something. Curry torched France with 4 3-pointers in the final 3 minutes of regulation, stamping Team USA's gold medal bid and securing his own Olympic immortality in the process. Curry's epic Olympics finale was preceded by an incredible 36-point performance against Serbia to keep the Americans' gold medal dreams alive, with the star point guard's legendary back-to-back showings being so impressive that they apparently warranted a drug screening. Steve said, in the words of Stephen Curry, we can tell Donald Trump night-night. Steve Kerr was a guest speaker at the Democratic National Convention tonight. When speaking about the Republican candidate Donald Trump, Kerr invoked the words of his star player on the Warriors, Stephen Curry, when proclaiming that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz would tell Donald Trump to go night-night after the results are tallied that night. We can, in the words of the great Steph Curry, we can tell Donald Trump night-night. Steve Kerr has officially given his endorsement to the Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris. The elections take place this November, with the reigning vice president hoping to become the first female president of the United States. However, Donald Trump, the former president of the United States, is contesting her in these elections. Her is far from the only member of the Warriors organization to extend their support to Kamala Harris. Stephen Curry recently showed support to Harris, who started her political career in the Bay Area, and exclaimed that the country needs to get behind her for the upcoming election. The Warriors have historically been against Donald Trump and have made their opinions on him very clear. The Warriors famously refused to go to the White House and meet the president after their championship wins in 2017 and 2018. The Warriors broke a year-long tradition as they didn't stand by many of Trump's beliefs and policy decisions. Upon Joe Biden's victory over Donald Trump in the 2020 presidential elections, NBA champions resumed their tradition of meeting with the president at the White House. One of the teams to make this trip was the Warriors, who were returning to the White House for the first time since 2015, when they met with then-President Barack Obama after winning the NBA championship. Obama hilariously shouted out "S. Steph Curry" during his speech for the champions, recognizing Curry's role in the Chicago Bulls' second repeat between 1996 to 1998. Perhaps Curry and the Warriors will get the chance to go to the White House once again should Harris win the election. Harris is likely to get support from many other stars in the NBA, as several players in the league have been very vocal about their disdain for Donald Trump over the last few years, especially during his tenure as president. Considering what Curry just accomplished at the Olympics, helping bring pride to the United States with a dominant gold medal win in Paris, he has a lot of goodwill among many citizens in the country, and his will carry a lot of weight. Furthermore, invoking Stephen Curry, who is one of the most popular NBA stars in the country, will only help rally more people behind Kamala Harris's candidature in the coming few months. Don't be surprised to see more NBA players coming out with their support for Harris in the coming months. As the elections draw closer, Warriors' potential trade target looks very healthy. In latest workout video, their Warrior summer has been pretty quiet so far. Warriors has attempted to make cast updates, but nothing has materialized so far. The team was linked to several names in the NBA during the off-season, but the board made it clear that it will not make a trade just for the sake of it. The Warriors have once again been linked to Chicago Bulls point guard Zach LaVine, but his contract remains a major hurdle. LaVine has also dealt with some injuries in recent seasons, which has caused his value to drop in the NBA, but when healthy he's one of the league's most fun players to watch. With the basketball on social media, LaVine posted a video clip of himself dunking, showing extreme athleticism in the process. There have been rumors about him possibly losing a step on the court due to the injuries he has suffered, but LaVine apparently wants to put that aside, adding LaVine would satisfy the Warriors' desire for a build. Adding his explosive S to the team, LD certainly give the Warriors a boost on the offensive side of the ball. He can score from all three levels on the court. However, he is set to make $43 million next season, $45.9 million the next, and finally has a player option for $48.9 million in his final year. His contract has been a stumbling block in the Bulls' attempts to trade him, likely indicating he will stay with Chicago at least for now. While their Warriors may not be willing to pay a price to get his contract, if the team gets desperate, LaVine could be an intriguing target as a third option. LaVine could make the Warriors one of the most dangerous teams in the NBA, but for now it appears the Warriors are content to enter the season with a similar squad to last season. They believe in the group they have, led by the two superstars in the squad. Warriors' potential trade target looks very healthy in latest workout video. And you fan, what do you think of the situation of Zach LaVine? Leave your opinion in the comments.